Hello, Charles here with Ryobi Adventures. Today I'm going to be reinstalling my bed platform and cabinets that I built in the interior of my 2005 Honda CR-V. Now, a few weeks ago, I had to remove the bed platform and the cabinets that I had in the interior so I could access the panels for the top of the struts. The reason why I had to do that is with all the lumber, the weight from it, and the gear that I had, it had some really bad rear end sag. So to correct that issue, I ended up beefing up the rear end suspension with new struts and also OME, Old Man Emu, 1.5 inch lifted coil springs. And I just got those installed earlier this week. So now I'm ready to reinstall my platform and cabinets along with getting it ready to head out west. My goal is to eventually, and hopefully soon, live in this thing full time. Now, if you look out here on the table, all the pieces are pre-cut and prefabricated. The reason for that is this build has taken me, unfortunately, roughly around a year, maybe a little bit more. Started last May or June, about this time last year. The first platform I built, I think it was about 10 inches too high. There was barely enough room for me to sleep. And of course, I'm a side sleeper, so when I slept on my side, my shoulders were hitting the top of the interior. And it really was very claustrophobic. And after a camping trip that I took to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park in western North Carolina for about a week, staying in it for that long, it definitely wasn't viable for long-term living. So I ended up going back to the drawing board and coming up with a new design, the lower platform, along with cabinets built on the passenger side. It's been a trial and error project. I mean, I wasn't working from any kind of blueprints or anything like that. How I built this, basically a lot of cardboard templates. I would cut out cardboard pieces and make sure that it fit and all that other stuff. I'd of course do my measurements and then just started cutting wood until I got to something that was pretty solid and something that definitely worked. With that said, it was a long process to come to this point, but I am pretty happy with the final design. My next video will be a full tour once I get everything installed, get everything built back up, and I'll be going through and giving a tour of the interior, the CR-V, the exterior, the awning that I installed myself. But yeah, let's get started, I guess. Before I proceed any further, I want to go ahead and show exactly how I mounted the platform and secured it to the interior of the vehicle. So on the back here, if you look down there, there was actually on this side and the other side, there was D-rings there. And I ended up taking those out and ended up putting that bolt with an L bracket here to mount this leg and to secure it into place into the body of the vehicle. Did the same on this side here. Now the front, if you look, when I first started building for the front end, what holds everything in place is 2x4 here. If you look over there, you see right there, there's a bolt that goes through that 2x4, and then there's two right there, and then one right there. And these actually go in, and then over there, these actually mount into the body where the back seat's actually secured in. There were threaded bolt holes for the seat hardware, and when I removed the back seats, I ended up using that hardware to secure this 2x4 across here to act as an anchor on the front. And then of course in the back, I showed you how I did the two legs. And so that's how I ended up securing the platform to the vehicle. Alright, on the platform I put the front piece of plywood that I have across here. For one, it's to keep anything that I have stored under the platform from sliding out. And two, it acts to secure this whole front end assembly together. I've got leg on this side, leg on the other side, and then these cross pieces. And then this front, I've got it bolted here, here, and then there's 2 bolts over there. And it secures the whole front end assembly all together, making it basically operating as one piece. Now coming up, I also have a hatch that I put here, a hatch back here. So there's a front and a rear hatch. And then of course, the side right here that the cabinet sits on. Alright, the hatches are installed, and now to do the top of the platform for this side. This is the side that the cabinets sit on. Now I want to do a quick overview on how I attach the cabinets to this side. They're not screwed in, they're bolted in, and the way I do it, as you see, this is the top. When I flip it over, you'll see these T-nuts. There's 8 of them, and those T-nuts are how I secure the cabinet to the platform. Alright, I've got the platform now completely finished. The only thing left to do is install the cabinets along the passenger side. Now, the top of the platform and the cabinets included, I coated with polyurethane. For one, to give it a little waterproof barrier. 2, stains, mud, dirt. It's easy to wipe off with the polyurethane coating on top. The cabinets will go down the passenger side right through here, all the way to the back of the passenger seat. I've got these 2 hatches, and then at the front I built this leg to support this hinge. This is the bed extension that, when folded down, gives me a full 75 inches of length for a full twin size tri-fold mattress. I'm about ready to install the cabinets down the passenger side on top of the platform. But before I install them, I just wanted to give a real quick overview on how I constructed them. I use both wood glue and L brackets, corner brackets, to build the shelves and the cabinet. I tried to make it as secure as possible. On this side right here, once inside the vehicle, I've taken a 4x8 sheet of birch plywood, 3/4 inch, and I cut this front of the cabinets that faces the inside of the vehicle. Now, on the passenger side, when you open the back passenger door, I constructed these cabinets with doors that you can access from back passenger side door. The one here actually acts as my pantry, but I'll go ahead and cover that more in detail once I get it installed and do a full tour of the build out. So now that the bed platform and the cabinets are installed, I do want to show how the cabinets installed to the platform. So if you see, I've got these L brackets here, and as I showed earlier, I use T-nuts on the plywood that makes the top of the platform. And so the way I do this is with these L brackets, I lined up the holes with the T-nuts that I can put bolts in it. So this bolts in, there's two there, there's two there, and there's also two more up front here. And of course that's the cabinets here, and this was a 4x8 sheet of plywood that I cut out these cubbies, and of course then I built my my shelving cabinet that I actually showed earlier on. And of course the way this secures to the cabinets, I also use T-nuts here as well. And there's bolts on the other side and L brackets that bolt the front of the cabinet onto the shelving. Now the back of the cabinet actually comes to right here, so I had this extra space, and this was by design. I made this here, and basically this is another like storage bin, but I wanted to leave this spot right here particularly open so I can access the place where the jack and the tire wrench and everything is, and it makes it easy access for that. I didn't want to block that out. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this video.